Staton for the Roos has not been missing many shots lately.
Yeah, 23 points in their last game against Omaha, 21 of those 23 in the second half. He's got to stay aggressive, scoring the basketball, but he does a little bit of everything for the Roos. He brings the ball up, assists, rebounds. They just need his scoring tonight.
He now leads them in scoring on the season. Fred Chapman is NCAA tournament last season for the first time ever. They were 27-8 last season, 18-3 in the conference. And right now they are 1-1 in conference play after that loss against North Dakota State. Already had some big wins this season, including beating undefeated New Mexico on their home floor. And there is a offensive foul on Eston Tyler.
Yeah, and again, the first possession offensively in their half-court offense is just not in sync. I mean, it's slow, and then it just turns into one-on-one basketball.
A little full-court pressure here by the Roos. Yep. Walters and Chad White closed out the first half, scoring 24 straight points.
Yeah, it's got to start on this end.
Dykstra missing, but Fegan the rebound.
Again, the Roos playing zone defense. You're going to give up some open looks.
That time they missed it. Chapman the rebound for Kansas City, and here comes Nate Rogers.
Yeah, and right now they got to push the basketball. They got a lot to make up here. It's a good job by Kirksey. You got to be aggressive offensively now if you're the Roos.
And Nelson Kirksey now with 12 points in the game. Leads the way for Kansas City. Fegan in the middle of that defense. They swing it around. Dykstra on the baseline. What a smooth shot he's got. 14 for Dykstra.
Yeah, and at 6'8", when he steps outside, I mean, he's so tall and his release point is so high, it's not much you can do.
Here's Tyler taking the baseline, dealing off Staton. Nate Rogers open from three, and Nate Rogers has his first three ball.
There you go.
So Kansas City comes out and hits a couple of threes already here in the second half, matching their entire total of the first half. Walters launches the three. Got his own rebound. There's the floater. And the rebound knocked out to Kansas City. And really, JC, that's the area the last 2 years it's kind of fallen off a little bit for Nate Walters. He's hit a three here tonight, but it's the three ball.
Yeah, he's got an unorthodox shot. I mean, it's going to be tough for him. You know, a lot of people are talking about him being a next level guy. It's going to be extremely tough for him to get that shot off at the next level. And he's got to be more consistent shooting the ball, like you said, too. He does everything else very well.
Well, he shot over 40% as a freshman from the last season. He was at 24%. This season at 37%, so getting it back up there. But that's one of the areas they're probably looking at here tonight when they scout him.
Yeah, another turnover by the Roos. They've got to start to create some turnovers.
There's a foul on the baseline going against Kansas City. And that is the Roos' second team foul. There's some of the scouts. Guy on the far right there is Dave Bowinkle, Chicago Bulls. He wants to get a really good look at the action.
Yeah. Looks like he's been putting some miles in some time.
And there's a bucket for South Dakota State, and that's just too easy. That's by Carlson. 5 points in the ball game now.
Said he's trying to get a real good look, huh?
On the wing, this is Tyler getting a screen from Brad Reed. Again, they hedge out on it. Tyler launches the three.
Good job by Eston. And we've seen Eston put up some big games scoring the basketball.
Yeah, he's at 46% from the three line, which is outstanding.
Yeah.
That's actually fallen off the last couple of ball games. He was at like 56 or something like that for a while.
Yeah.
And there's a timeout. Chad White was in trouble. South Dakota State calls the timeout. We take a break, but maybe this will get Eston Tyler going from the outside. Roos starting to knock a few shots down from the outside, but they still trail it by 24 here as we begin the second half. Check out the official UMKC Athletics website at umkckangaroos.com to sign up to be an insider, receive text alerts, live and on-demand streaming, video and audio, purchase pictures, and so much more. umkckangaroos.com. South Dakota State with the basketball. They called timeout, in trouble here on the sideline. So
Roos out, Roos out of that zone now, playing man. But again, Jordan Dykstra at 6'8", who has Brad Reed on him. That's a bit of a mismatch. Quickness, Reed's got to respect the quickness, and now Jordan Dykstra just shoots the basketball.
I mean, have we seen a better shot than that this season?
No.
And a 6'8" guy to boot. As we've talked about, second team All-Summit League a season ago, Jordan Dykstra. And leads the way. He and Walters each have 16 now. Tyler, they continue to hedge on that screen out front. Kirksey for three. Rebound White quickly to Walters. Boy, he is so in control as he brings the ball up the floor. He finds people everywhere. Another assist, and it's Dykstra again.
Hey, I'll tell you what, there's some NBA scouts here tonight watching Walters.
Yeah,
I bet you they're
absolutely
making some notes about Dykstra now.
You just don't shake trees and find 6'8" guys that can shoot the three like Tyler with a three ball. I'm thinking right with you, my man.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
Come to watch one guy, and next thing you know, you find another one.
Up top, Walters. Here's Dykstra. Has it down low, kicks it out. Walters launching the three. 19 now for Walters.
Yeah, but again, the zone defense, you're leaving guys wide open and giving them open looks. And this team shoots the ball too well. I think they're better off playing man and trying to help Brad Reed on Dykstra.
Well, again, it's been a big issue all season long, guarding the three line for the Kangaroos. Opponents shooting 43% from the three line on the season, and tonight South Dakota State improving on that, and they lead it by 29. Back right after this.
I am.
I'm Kansas City.
I am hustle.
I am teammate. I am
Defense.
I am commitment.
I am heart.
I am Kansas City.
I make shots. I win.
I am Haru.
We are city.
South Dakota State with 12 three balls in the ball game here today. 5 by Dykstra, 19 points, but that's their season high from the three line this season with 14:37 left.
Yeah, and Dykstra doing a little bit of everything, not just scoring. Watch him inside here, throw the ball inside. He understands that the defense collapses on him right here, and then watch what he does. Finds the open man in Walters for an easy, wide open look, and he knocks it down.
And they have 18 assists in the ball game as well on their buckets. Staton at the free throw line hits the first one. Thomas Staton has really picked up his free throw percentage this season, 78% coming into the ball game. And he has 6 points for T-Stat, leading scorer on the season for the Roos at almost 11 a game. South Dakota State, 12 of 22 from distance here tonight. Overall, they're shooting 58% from the floor and 55 from the three line. Shot clock at 8. White, no good. Rebound, Thomas Staton. Oh, look out. He's going to go the distance with the finger roll, the right hand, and he's left-handed.
Yeah, nice by Thomas Staton. Attacking the basket, doesn't stop, gets all the way there, and finishes with the right hand.
You could tell when he flew by us at midcourt.
He wasn't stopping.
That wasn't coming out of his hands until it was going up at the bucket.
And I don't blame him. He needs to do that a little more.
They swing it around out high. Biddle throws it to Walters. Then a foul going on Thomas Staton. Third team foul on Kansas City here in the second half. And the first personal foul on Thomas Staton. Walters has 7 assists tonight. New guy into the ball game is Tavon Prince in the lane. And Tavon at only 6'3", 215 in there posting up.
Yeah, get him the ball immediately as soon as he came in the game. They posted him up. Went inside and got the bucket and the foul.
He'll go down and try to complete that three-point play from Toronto, Ontario. And that one knocked away on the miss. Staton leaves it back for Rogers. And a three, but Rogers has his second three.
Nice, and the Roos are much better offensively when they play in transition. Just like that, and got a wide open look. Nate Rogers, where they've struggled is when they've slowed the pace down in their half-court offense.
South Dakota State. Well, and there's a turnover. Oh, that's a foul. They have 18 assists, as we mentioned before, but only 2 turnovers.
Wow.
How's that ratio?
Fantastic. I mean, they pass the ball so well. They all can handle the ball, and they do such a great job of just being unselfish.
5th team foul on Kansas City. "13 minutes to play in this one. Walters out high working on the freshman Burke. Walters trying to go down low to Prince. On Prince just comes in off the bench at 6'3". You're thinking he might go out there and play on the perimeter, but man, he's on the block.
Yeah, he's down low
with his long sleeves on.
That's true.
I thought maybe he was a middle reliever or something coming. Got to keep that arm warm.
Yeah.
Nate Walters leaves it back from outside. That shot no good by Carlson. Rebound Fred Chapman. And the Roos are running. Thomas Staton with a head of steam. And he draws the foul as he takes it in.
Well, that's what they've got to do again. Transition, get some shots in transition where they can play faster and not have to slow it down. That's when they're at their best offensively.
T-Stat, 6'6", 225, the senior, Southfield, Michigan. Went to Independence Community College. Gardner Webb is a freshman. He's got 9 points here tonight. Thomas Staton's father, Tom, played basketball at Michigan. And T-Stat has hit all 4 of his free throws, now up flirting with 80% on the season. UMKC in the second half from the field, 86%. That'll get you back into the ball game.
Yeah.
South Dakota State still shooting it well, though, at 50.
Just hope it's not too big of a hole like it was against Omaha. Their last game, down 22 at the half, like you said.
Walters underneath with the left hand, and he scores it. He can just do it from everywhere on the floor. Now has 21 points. Thomas Staton up top. As curling into the lane, he draws the foul. This will be the 4th team foul. It's on the floor, and we've got timeout. South Dakota State on top here in Summit League play. South Dakota State on top here at the Muni in Summit League play. UMB is the official bank of UMKC Athletics. Visit UMB.com for all your banking needs. UMB, count on more. So South Dakota State and that guy, Dykstra, has shot it very well here tonight. It's Walters that leads the way in scoring with 21, though. A lot of easy buckets in his ball game tonight. Couple of 3 balls. Rouge trigger in. They've been shooting it well here in the second half. Staton has scored the last 6 points for the Rouge. And T-Stat has 10 tonight. Kirksey has a dozen, although we haven't seen him for a while on the floor. Corver back in there, has it on the wing. Up top, Tyler.
Yeah, and again, their half-court offense. Really don't get much, and then it just turns into one-on-one.
Here's Burke, steps back, launches a 3 that absolutely shook the gym. It came off the board so hard.
Yeah, just a bad shot. But the shot clock was winding down. He had no choice.
Here comes Tyler in transition. And he'll back it out.
Got Dykstra at 6'8" on him, so you ought to just clear it out and let him go to the basket.
Well, that's kind of what they did. Tyler pulls up and scores it. That's a lot of work, though.
Yeah, a lot of work, but it went down. And that's better than just passing the ball all over the place like they've been doing in their half-court set and not getting a good look.
Tyler has 8 points in the ball game now with that hoop as they continue to shoot it well here in the second half. South Dakota State with Dykstra. Did Dykstra really shoot that one?
I don't know.
That came up 5 feet short. Somebody might have got a piece. Out top, Tyler. Kansas City closing that lead down a little bit with some good shooting here in the second half. Here's Corver launching the 3, and Kurt Corver has a 3-ball.
There you go. The offense starting to pick up for the Rouge. Now they've got to keep getting stops on the defensive end.
Second three for Corver. They are on fire in the second half. 6 of 8 from the 3 line for the Kangaroos. So like the first half was for South Dakota State, it's that way for the Roos here in half number 2. Prince has it in the lane again and turns it over.
That's a stop. That's what you want. You just got to get some stops on the defensive side.
10-2 run over the last 3.5 minutes for Kansas City. Coach Nagy wants some of that outside shooting like his team had in the first half. But it's Kansas City that's on fire from the 3 line. Nelson Kirksey is back in there for Kansas City. 12 points in the ball game. Here's Corver off to Rogers. Nate Rogers just has it taken away by Carlson. Just took his rock. Give it right back to Walters, hanging and scoring.
Yeah, that guy can finish.
Yeah.
Just so under control, just smooth. They're always under control.
23 points, only missed 4 shots from the field here tonight. Leads back to 21. Up top Corver, now Kirksey. Now it's Eston Tyler. And the rebound Fegan quickly to Walters. Oh my goodness. Fegan couldn't finish it off. But the pass was, I mean, that was just cool.
Yeah.
Corver faked it around, then shot it out of bounds to South Dakota State. Nate Walters. Smooth, efficient. If you're open, he'll find you. Walters out high, working against that Kansas City defense. 21-point lead for South Dakota State. They led at halftime by 29. Carlson swings it over to White. Knocked out to Walters. And now they'll just reshape the offense here. In the corner, Dykstra. He launches. Not this time. Rebound, Kirksey. And an offensive foul on Nelson Kirksey. And that is his 3rd personal foul. We've got timeout on the floor. Again, the Roos just on fire here in the second half from the 3 line, 67%. Really picked up the overall shooting for the game, 47% from the 3 line. Now they're over 43% from, but they still trail, trying to overcome a 29-point deficit at halftime. Stolen away by Alton Tanner. Tough to go over the top of him at 6'8" on a skip pass there, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Kansas City. But this game just really has a lot of the same feel as the last game the Roos played in Omaha. They got down huge in the first half, and then hot shooting in the second half. They pulled it to within 10 or less in that ball game.
It was just too deep of a hole to come out of.
Oh, Big Fred.
Good job. They're going to try to get out of this hole tonight. The second half, they've done a much better job scoring the basketball and a better job defensively. They just have to continue to do that.
On the pull-up, that one goes for Fegan. He's got a half dozen. That last bucket by Fred Chapman, his first of the ball game. He's got 5 rebounds here tonight. Eston Tyler on the dribble drive. Fred Chapman the rebound, and Fred is there again. It's tipped out, but into the hands of Carlson.
But you have to like the effort. They're definitely working down there.
And the Roos come away with this one as they just attacked Carlson.
Yeah.
He was trying to dribble through 4 guys. Nate Rogers, Alton Tanner. Rebound Rogers, and man, that's a layup line there for Nate Rogers.
It doesn't get much easier than that.
That's a Mikan drill.
Yeah, it's all good though.
Right place, right time. Nate Rogers has 9 points. Cuts that lead under 20. Aston Tyler got a piece, then knocked away. But knocked Tanner.
Yeah, another turnover. The Roos are playing a much, much better second half on both ends of the floor.
Kirksey just kind of lost control of that one as he was taking it up. And here comes South Dakota State. Walters, rebound Chapman. Well, he had it for a second. And then South Dakota State retains possession. White leaves it back for Carlson, and now they'll work a little more shot clock here. Time flying in this one, only 5:16 and counting. And there's a travel out front. But that's only the 4th turnover of the game. Make it 5 turnovers in the game for South Dakota State against 19 assists.
It's a great ratio.
Thomas Staton back into the ball game now. So right now for Kansas City, Nate Rogers, Aston Tyler, Thomas Staton, Kirk Corver, and Fred Chapman on the floor. From outside, Staton tipped around, out of bounds, over to South Dakota State. So the Jackrabbits have the basketball. Checking into the game for the first time for South Dakota State, Zach Horstman. He's a sophomore, 6'6", 205. This is Nate Walters in the backcourt being checked by Rogers. Inside 5 minutes to play here at Municipal Auditorium. Staton was out there. Staton almost had a steal on the wing. Up top, Walters is open for 3. Knocked around, Walters has it back. And then an offensive foul, his first of the game. Kirk Corver took the charge.
Yeah, just slid right in front of Walters. Kind of guessed right. Watch Walters going to put it down, and yeah, it's an easy call. Good job by Corver.
Four and a half to play. Kangaroos with it. Up top to Fred Chapman, now to Corver. Here's Nate Rogers. Falls back for the shot. No good. Walters the rebound. 5th rebound of the game for Walters. He has 23 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds in the game. And that foul going against Kansas City. 7th team foul. So now to the free throw line goes Dykstra.
Watch Dykstra set this hard pick on Nate Rogers. Somebody's got to let Nate know. Nate took a hard shot there. Came up rubbing his shoulder.
That's another way to set the pick, man. Do it with your back.
Yeah. Then after he set the pick, ran all the way down the floor, got the ball in the foul. Goes to the free throw line.
Dykstra, the 6'8", 225 junior, Rock Valley, Iowa. His high school team, he played there in high school with Marcus Heemstra, who's also on this team, and they won the Class 1A state championship as junior and senior. Dykstra now has 21 with those 2 free throws, and that ties his season high, which he achieved at Dakota State earlier in the season. That one stripped by Walters, and then he is tackled by Corver.
How about Walters? That's about his 3rd steal, at least tonight.
It's a steal.
Yeah.
Timeout on the floor. We'll give you his numbers. We'll give you the update when we come back. A 21-point lead for the Jackrabbits. South Dakota State has led virtually this whole ball game, and they continue to lead it here with about 4 minutes left in the game. UMKC is a proud member of the Summit League, an NCAA Division I athletics conference for over 25 years, sponsoring 19 championship sports. Visit thesummitleague.org for all the latest scores and updates. And remember, Denver will enter the Summit League next season. So here's the line for Nate Walters tonight. 23 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals. And that's kind of normal.
Yeah, it is. He averaged 6 rebounds and 6 assists coming in.
Thomas Staton has a dozen with that bucket. Cuts that lead back again to 19. John Burke back in there, 6'3", 205 freshman.
And the Roos have played tremendously hard the second half. The problem is that South Dakota State does such a good taking care of the basketball. Only 8 turnovers the entire game.
And there's a double dribble, another turnover, so that's now 9 turnovers in the game, 20 assists and 9 turnovers. But like you said, JC, the hole was so deep in the first half, trailing 49-20 at halftime. The Roos actually leading here in the second half, 30-22. And make it now 32-22 after that bucket by Staton. Tyler falling away. Corver got the rebound and scored it.
They're playing hard, no doubt about it. They're in there battling Corver inside, fighting for rebounds and gets the putback.
So the Roos actually leading here in the second half by 12.
Yeah, and their energy is much better than it was in the first half, and that's why they are winning this second half. They just dug themselves too hole in the first half.
At the line, this is Jake Biddle.
Hey, Scott, can you let Rob know that they want to interview Staton after the game?
Biddle with both free throws. He was 80% coming in.
See if we can.
2.5 to play. Thomas Staton going to work again, dealing off to Fred Chapman for the hammer.
Yeah, good job by Staton. Attacking the basket, drawing the defenders, and then dropping it off to Fred for the hammer.
Stolen away by Kirk Corver. Here comes Thomas Staton. Corver to Tyler. Eston Tyler with a layup.
I'll tell you what, the Roos this second half, completely different team. I mean, they playing with a lot of energy. They're attacking the basket. And that's the way you wanted to see him play the second half. Don't even worry about the score. Just come out and play hard and win the second half, and they are definitely doing that.
Again, the hole was just so deep at the end of the first half. That one knocked away by Nate Rogers. Nearly had the steal.
Just to get this down to 15 is huge.
South Dakota State's last field goal was at the 7:01 mark as well. So came out, played a little bit better defense, and then really started hitting their shots in the second half. Kansas City from outside, that shot badly missing by Horstman. And then the shot clock violation, never hit the rim.
And that's about 3 straight turnovers because of great defense by the Roos.
So Kansas City with 1:23 left.
Got to get the ball up, huh?
Going to Corver down low, working on Prince, hanging. It would have counted. He'll go to the line, where he is 95% on the season.
That's a good job of recognizing the mismatch. Corver had the smaller defender on him and just went to the block and posted him up.
Kurt Corver, the 6'7", 220 junior from Pella, Iowa. The 4th Division I Corver basketball player. Hitting the first free throw. High game on the season is 17 against Norfolk State. And that's just a second miss of the season from the free throw line for Kurt Corver, coming in at 95%. Stolen away, Tyler. Bodies on the deck. They let him play on. Roos trailing by 14. Inside a minute to play. Here's Prince, and that is too easy. Here's Tyler out front, off to Thomas Staton. Going to the rim and scoring. Staton with 14 here tonight to lead the way for Kansas City once again, as he's been doing as of late. Oh, Prince.
Prince with the
put it on his hip.
Yeah, with the fake behind the back pass. That's one of those old school deals.
It was.
Yeah, he's still doing those up in Toronto, huh?
And he got it to go for his 6th point of the game. Kansas City's second half just not going to be enough, though. After trailing by 29, again, JC, at least they come out here in the second half and show you something. A little better effort on the defensive end, because South State only scored, you know, what was it, 28 points in the second half after scoring 49?
The Roos played a much better second half. And, you know, that's something that they can talk about. I mean, they've got to bring that second half energy to the first half. And they defended better, they created turnovers, and they were aggressive offensively. And that's why they played so much better in the second half.
So Kansas City falls here tonight to South Dakota State. Nate Walters once again with another good all-around ball game. Guys shooting the lights out tonight, like Dykstra, like White. Both those guys really in the first half turned it on. Dykstra had 21. That equaled his season high on the season, but just a little too much for the Roos in half number 1.
Oh, yeah. And again, you've got to come out with that energy that they played with in the second half. And you've got to defend, you've got to guard, and that's where it was in the first half. They just didn't guard tough enough like they did in the second half, and they gave up too many wide open looks to a hot shooting team.
And South Dakota State moves it out to 11-5 on the season. And we'll take timeout after the Jackrabbits win it here at the Muni. We'll be back right after this. Drive of the game. Just a short drive from I-35. Shawnee Mission Kia, here it is.
Yeah, short drive by Thomas Staton that just drops it off to Fred Chapman for the big dunk. But all created by Thomas Staton, drawing the defenders and then laying it off.
Thomas Staton continues to score well. I mean, he came in, averaged about 15 points a game over the last 6 games, and he continued that here tonight.